everyone, welcome to Volleyball DNA, where we examine the characteristics that make up some of the most intriguing personalities in the world of volleyball. I'm Denise Lazaro.
And I'm Anton Rojas. The subject for this episode has the genes that enable her to perform at a high level in any aspect of life. She has a seemingly unlimited amount of energy and a smile that can disarm any form of negativity. Indeed, this young lady is an absolute winner, a UAP champion, and the current team captain of the famed Ateneo Lady Eagles. Let's give it up for Ponggay Gaston.
Hi!
Let's go!
Morning.
Ang cute!
What is that?
That's my kid-friendly background when I teach the kids. Same kasi kami ni Kim.
Oh, you teach?
Yeah, I'm teaching online for I'm teaching English.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Kasi you graduated na, di ba?
Yeah, I graduated no May.
Oh, so you already started working, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ang galing, ang galing. Nice, nice. That's cool.
How old yung mga tinuturuan mo po?
It can be any age because I also have advanced students where they're like learning about how to gossip and how to quit their job. I don't know how old she is, but she looks older than me.
Foreigner?
They're all Chinese
Ooh.
because it's a
Wow.
Chinese company. So it's called 5-1 Talk. Kim and I are there.
Interesting.
It's an ESL. ESL. So they're trying to learn English.
I find that super impressive because, I mean, like, you just graduated this year, and what a time to graduate. And, like, you never took your foot off the gas pedal, seemingly. Like, you're working, and then prior to everything getting shut down, you were hosting. At then yung bosses ni Pong, alam mo, authoritative eh. May buhay talaga eh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, because of the hosting with sila Sinjin and sila Michelle, yung TBH show namin, dun ako na push mag-vlog. And then because we stopped doing the show, I stopped na rin making vlogs.
So TikToks na lang.
Yeah, I haven't even done that in so long.
Well, Ponggay, we thank you for your time. We're glad to know that you agreed to go on the show despite you teaching and training with Dan. So we're very thankful to have you here on Volleyball DNA.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so happy.
So let's talk about the beginning. You grew up with a dad who was a former PBA star and was with the Games and Amusements Board for such a long time. Your mom was a beauty queen. Your older sister, Therese, was a volleyball player. What was it like growing up for you? I mean, you're a person who is a bundle of energy. You're exuding positivity all the time. What was it like growing up?
It was really fun being the bunso, for one. I can say I was pretty spoiled. So I have 2 older sisters and then 1 older brother. So like all the good stuff would go to me because I have the bunso energy. And it was really fun growing up because I would always copy my sister. So whatever she would do, I would just end up doing the same thing. And it was fun because I never actually saw my dad play basketball, and I never even saw my mom like during her pageant days. I just saw pictures. And they would always push us to do our best. But then they would also never force us into doing things that we didn't like. So we had a pretty fun childhood. Like I would always be outside because they wouldn't let us watch TV. And my dad would always want us to stay active because he was an athlete. So he would always tell us, oh, like go to the park or go play with the dogs. And then they would make us try different sports. In our old school, they were clubs, diba? Parang, oh, join the mga football club, art club. So I'd like to say I had a pretty good childhood.
Well, did you ever envision yourself having this kind of life as a pro athlete?
Honestly, no. I thought I was gonna do corporate like my mom because when we were kids, we would always play in her office. So let's say she has work and we have to ride with her going home. So we would play around in her office. Like we would go in the cubicles and then act like we were in an office, like pick up the phone, hi, hello, and then pretend we're doing some kind of paperwork. So I thought that's the life that I was gonna have. But then as I um, continued on doing sports, my dad really made us see, oh, you guys can be doing this if you want. But we didn't see that volleyball was going to be really big. Growing up, you'd only see basketball being like a career, or golf, or being an athlete would be difficult in the Philippines, as a lifestyle. You would have to do something else. So I'm really grateful that the game and the sports in the Philippines are really getting bigger, that people can choose um, different things as their career options na. And I really wouldn't have imagined that until the later part unlike the later days of my life, like maybe in college na. Kasi when I was in high school, I was like, this is just for fun, this is just something to build my character. But then I had to focus on school because I know, like, I need to get my noggin working. I need a fallback.
I can imagine though, Ponggay, na there were so many options on the table. You said you were trying pretty much everything. But I want to know how volleyball, among all those options, how did volleyball start for you? Like, where did the journey officially begin?
Okay, this is a great story. It's all thanks to my sister, because we were in Poveda and I was playing football and I was also doing swimming because I was so, alam mo yung kiti-kiti? Yung ang dami kong energy talaga. I need to do sports so that when I get home, I'm sleepy na and I'm tired because I have so much energy. So, when my sister joined volleyball in Poveda, syempre, ako yung kapatid na, oh, what are you doing? Like, can I be with you? Can I join you? So, I can imagine her probably being like, ano ba to? Like, everything na lang I do, ginagaya niya. So, my mom was like, oh yeah, you guys play together. It will be fun. And then I tried it. Maybe I tried training a few times and I really liked it. So then I went with her. And then in Poveda, our coach was she came from UST also. She's a graduate from UST. So she was offering us na, oh, if you want, you guys can transfer and you can actually take this seriously because you guys are tall and, you can excel in this sport if you want to. So then my dad actually said, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I also went to UST Pay High. So my sister went there and then they were saying, oh, if you want, you can either go to UST or you can go to Zobel because Zobel also takes the volleyball program much more seriously compared to Poveda. Like the level of competitiveness is much higher. So my sister, when she was deciding, most of her decisions in life, she always had to consider me because she knew that, oh, there's this little girl who's going to follow me, whatever I decide. So the pressure didn't come from my parents. I always say this, the pressure would come from me. So my mom would be like, choose whatever you want, but remember that your sister is gonna follow you because she idolizes you. And I really did. Like, she was like, oh, she went to UST. So I followed her. And it was much easier for me to transition. I didn't really get that culture shock because she made life much easier. Like, she's the type of sister na, for example, when I go in the classroom, so I'm in a new class, and they would ask me, oh, you're Gaston, so you're the little sister of Therese. So there's always a good impression. And I could just imagine if it was the other way around, if I was the older sister, baka, ay, kapatid mo yan si Ponggay, nako, alam ko na yan. Like, so, when I was growing up, my sister Therese, she really made it, like she really paved the way for me na, remember, whatever you decide, you have to think of your sister, you have to consider her. If it were me, I would probably just consider what I would want or what would be good for me, but she always considered what would be best for me also. So once we got to UST, that's when we really thought na, okay, volleyball is like our life now. It's not just a side hobby na for fun. We took it really seriously na. And then our skills got better. So then from there, it was easy na, like where to choose for college.
Well, you mentioned UST, Pong, and you were a two-time best blocker in the UAAP when you were playing for UST, and you even won a championship in season 76. So what are your fondest memories of this time? Nagsabay
Uh,
ka ni Therese playing for UST, di ba? For how many years?
yeah, we played for 4 years together. Well, I played with her for 3 years. So I guess one of the fondest memories um was one playing for the UAAP there. It was fun kasi compared to the UAAP in college, the UAAP in high school is so different. Like you would just play in like for example, we played in UE Caloocan or we would play in Adamson. So it was really fun because all the teams would like watch the games before it would happen and we're all cramped up in this gym. So we would like know each other even before going into college. Like, kilala ko na yan, malakas na yan, like magaling yan. And one of another fond memory that I had was when we were in high school, we also did a quarantine already. So like if we were going into the championship, we would sleep in our gym sa UST because we had to be like focused and like we have to like prepare for the game. So it was really fun because I was with my sister and I think nung kami naging close talaga kasi being teammates. And she's my senior pa, so it was really fun. And then it was her and sila EJ Laure. So that was when we had our championship in season 76. That's when we started the when we did the quarantine. So yeah, that's one of the fondest memories. Siguro playing you up and um just training all the time with them. It was fun. High school was so fun, you know? When you play volleyball, you actually look for it. Sometimes kasi in college, you're like, pagod na ako, ayoko na.
Ponggay, you said you played 4 UAP years in high school?
Yeah, I was part of the
Wow.
lineup since I was first year.
Wow. I actually never knew that. It was actually 4 years pala. Okay, you said you always follow your sister. So I imagine that the reason why you went to Ateneo was because of Therese again. But were there other schools that were recruiting you? And did you ever consider maybe, not following your sister for once?
Actually, I was telling my parents that, oh, maybe I could stay in UST kasi I already knew the coach, and that was the time when Coach Kung Fu was gonna start as the head coach for the women's because when my sister moved to Ateneo, it was still Coach Oji. And then
Yeah.
when it was my year na, Coach Kung Fu was like, Pong, baka gusto mo i-consider magstay sa UST kasi I'm gonna be the head coach na once you get into college. And I was like, wow, coach, okay, like, let me think about it. And I was telling my mom, like, I could actually just stay here and me and Ate can just be in separate schools, and then it could be like a good rivalry like this. And she was like, you know what? That can only work with brothers. Like with sisters, the two of you can't be like in that sphere because it wouldn't be good na magkakalaban kayo. Like, you know how Jeron and Jerick
Yeah.
Tang were in rival
Yeah.
schools.
I'm actually thinking if there were ever like rival sisters, diba?
Right? Exactly. There's none. So I was like, Mom, me and Ate can be the first ones, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, think about it. I'm gonna support you if you want that. But then it wouldn't be so nice to see that. It would be better if the two of you are helping each other. And I'm actually grateful because she really helped me in Ateneo. It was also a good way for me to just be in my comfort zone. But then UST also would have been it would have been also in my comfort zone. But I also took kasi the entrance exam in the other schools. So when I was considering the other schools, I wouldn't really think about the teams. I would think about like the education na. And also the campus. Like when I took the exam in UP, I was like, wow, ang ganda ng campus nila. It's so big. And then when I went to LaSalle, I said, wow, aircon sa lahat. Like, sarap.
Yeah, that kind of negates the pollution in Taft.
Yeah.
The air-conditioned classrooms.
Well, Pong, in your rookie year in Ateneo, it turned out to be the only year that you got to play with Therese in Ateneo. Knowing that you guys are so close na, what's the biggest lesson you learned from her in all your years of playing volleyball together?
In all my years of playing, with her, I learned from her to really have grit and passion. Like seeing her when I was still in high school and when I was transitioning. So this is like being included in like some of the trainings or like the summer trainings. I would see her like talagang super tired, and like there were times when she would just talk to me and like tell me about how it's so difficult to juggle studies with volleyball. But then she would be like, oh, you know, but this is really my passion. This is something that I want to continue at least for another semester, you know, even if it's so hard for me. So I would see her na parang I'm always like, ate, grabe naman yung mga bruises mo, bugbog ka ni Coach Tay, ganyan. And then she's just like, yeah, but you know, I love it. Like, it's worth it and all of that. So then doon ko nakita na if you really love something, then you're gonna keep going for it. Even if it's difficult. It's so easy to quit eh. But she really tried it off and she just kept pushing um until she wanted to just focus on her studies.
Mm. Ponggay, in your first year, your rookie year, which turned out to be, yun nga, the only year that you and Therese played together in Ateneo, you played in 5 matches, all wins. In your second year, you also played in just 5 matches and all wins also. So parang lumalabas, lucky charm ka ng Ateneo eh. Kasi tuwing naglalaro ka, nananalo yung Lady Eagles. But one of the matches that I will always remember, and I won't forget this, it was the second round match against LaSalle. You started for the very first time in your collegiate career. I want to know the story behind this, and like, were you shocked that out of all the matches, dun ka stinart, and there was like 18,000 people watching at the Araneta Coliseum?
I think I was a middle blocker, di ba? Yeah. Well, I was really nervous. I actually don't really remember that the game so well in those like in my first 3 years because I would always get super nervous in the games that you guys don't actually see it. Like my brain just blocks out. But you know, my experience in playing with those group of girls like sila Ate Gia and sila Ate Lai. So it was and also sila Mitch, diba? It was always like binubuhat nila yung team. Like sila yung nagbubuhat. So kahit sinong ipapasok nila, yung feeling dun is, okay, they got me. No matter what. So they would always be like, oh, ganito gagawin mo, ganyan. Tapos, so I was, as a middle, Ate Gia would just be like, oh, bibigyan kita ng running ha, paluin mo, patayin mo, ganon. So, in my days, as a first year to third year player, there was always someone leading me. It's different when you're in charge now, when you are the senior. Like, that's most of the things that really I remember. Pero as a rookie, parang sumusunod ka lang eh. Parang, okay, kaya na nila yan, alam na nila yung gagawin ko. So parang susunod na lang ako sa kanila kasi parang meron na silang gelling, kasi syempre kami yung nandun lang nanonood. So I think during my rookie years, I was really more of the cheerleader. I think alam niyo yun. Tsaka, Anton, sasabihin ko, hindi ako yung lucky charm ha. Yung totoong lucky charm ng Ateneo, si Kim Geheliana. Siya talaga yon.
Hindi panalo eh. First 2 years mo, panalo lahat eh. Lahat ng games na nilaruan mo. Pero hindi mo ba maalala yung game na yun, Ponggay? Yung nag-start ka bigla, tapos it was Ateneo Lasal. I mean, Ateneo Lasal, I can imagine, for any player, I mean, hindi mo makakalimutan yon. Like the atmosphere, the rivalry, everything. Or were you just like that, like locked in with the team and just worried about your role and just happy that you had the Ates to back you up?
Yeah, it was more of the latter part. And also, hindi kami nag-champion nung second year ko eh, di ba? Tsaka nung first year ko. So, gusto kong kalimutan yun eh. Gusto kong kalimutan yung mga talo. Kasi yung mga nagsustick lang sa akin na games are the last parts. Hindi ko na maaalala yung mga first round, second round. Tsaka, hindi ko binabalikan yun eh. Kasi, pag tinitignan ko yung mga old games ko, oh my God, super nagki-cringe ako. Kasi sobrang iba na yung laro ko noon. At saka sobrang iba na yung skills ko. So I try, like, honestly, I try not to look back on those games na. But I should. But then I know I'm gonna cringe. I'm like, oh my God, Pong.
Well, in your third year, Pong, another shocker, you were suddenly delegated to the libero position by Coach Tai. Can you tell us how this came about? Kasi it was a surprise because you were doing so well as a hitter. Bakit biglang, okay, libero ka na?
Okay. So it's actually funny because that wasn't really part of the plan. I mean, but it was because I accidentally sprained my ankle in training. So I couldn't jump. And then sakto si Dani, she got appendicitis, diba?
Yeah, yeah.
So they were like, oh, Pong, you'll just be the receiving libero since may receive ka naman. So that's what they did until my ankle can heal. And there was actually a game where it was already super maga, but I was still a spiker. And then, so warm up pa lang nakita ni Coach Shai na hindi ko talaga kaya tumalon. So they were like, okay, maybe in training, like during the game, inisip niya na, oh, in practice, gagawin siyang libero. And then the assistant coaches were telling me like, oh, Pong, ready ka na after this game. Pag balik ng training, magle-libero ka na. I thought they were just joking. But then it was serious. So then I started training for libero, which was super fun. Like, Ateneo, your position is so fun. You know what always talk to me also kasi she was the libero the season before that. And she was always like, Pong, like, that's the best position. Like, she's always like, oh, you know, I love being a libero. So, parang hina-hype up niya ako na, oh, bigyan mo sa akin yung mga gagandang bola ha. Like, make sure maganda yung mga free ball mo ha. I'm like, okay. I got you, ma'am. Like, I got you. Being a libero is such a fulfilling position talaga. Like, it's so different. I mean, as a spiker, like, oh yeah, I got the point. Pero, like, during my fourth year na, I'm always like, nice receive, Danny, or like, Kim, nice dig. Like, when I know the ball was perfect, doon ko talaga pinapatay yung bola kasi, okay. Ganda ng binigay ni yung libero ko for this set, di ba?
Yeah. Hey, hats off to you because I remember that time vividly. Yung bigla kang ginawang libero. I remember at Phil Oil, I approached you and Danny. And then Danny was suited up, but she couldn't play because she just had the appendectomy. And then I asked you, Ponggay, so what happened? When did you start becoming a libero? And then yung exact words na sinabi mo sa akin, Coach Tai was just like, Ponggay, libero. And then that was it. You were a libero and you were playing that position all the way. And that was actually the first time that you had regular playing time with the Lady Eagles. How tough was it? And I'm sure like this could inspire players who don't really get playing time in their first couple of years. How tough was it for you to remain patient and just keep working hard until you finally found the way to earn extended minutes on the court?
Okay, so I can say that honestly during my first year, second year days, yung lagi nilang sinasabi sa akin was entitlement. Yun yung nararamdaman nila sa akin. I felt that also na parang I didn't really push myself and I was really like, I was like entitled na, okay lang ako maging bench player, okay lang ako dito, which I regret. Na when I think about it, I wish I worked harder and I wish I focused more on like becoming a better player. Kasi baka now, mas mataas pa yung skill levels ko. Baka mas mataas pa yung playing levels ko. Pero I took it for granted during my first year kasi may pagka-complacent din ako na, okay, like, sila ate na yan, sila na maglalaro. Parang comfortable na ako sa bench. Kasi we were just a substitute, diba? So pagdating na ng third year ko, parang that's when I was like, I actually want to start playing more. I don't want to just come in as a sub. Like, I want to start coming in as a second six or like as a better option. So I really that's when I really put my head like straight na and I really focused na, okay, I'm gonna improve on my skills. So, and it also came with the experience na from bad games. Like there was this one game na super sama ng laro ko and it was all because of receive. So alam na nila yon. I talked about that sa TBH. It was versus San Sebastian na we were already leading, and this was with sila Ate Gia and sila Mitch. And then, because of receive, humabol pa yung San Sebastian tapos nanalo pa sila. So after that game, sinabi ko sa sarili ko, this was Shakey's, sabi ko, I'm gonna improve on my receive. So what I did after that game, every day I would train for receive. I would really work on my receive para gumanda yung receive ko. Kasi doon ko na-realize na importante talaga yung first ball. So I think that helped me a lot because Coach Tai saw na her receive is getting better. So that's why they gave me the option as a libero. Kasi usually if siguro na-injure ka, diba, it would be hard for them to find a spot for you or a position for you if like, oh, all your life you've been middle. Parang how are you gonna find another position for them, diba? Siguro you'd make them a different kind of spiker or something. So it was just, I think, God's plan na hindi ko naman sinasabi na na-appendicitis si Danny tapos na-sprain ako. Sabay-sabay lang yun. It was really just, okay, luckily enough, I had the skills to do that position, to fill in that role. And then this role really taught me to see the value in knowing your role. Not just in playing, but also as a player. Now you're gonna have to do the sacrifices and the responsibilities of being part of a team. And, you know, being older, you have to be more mature in what decisions you're gonna make outside of the court. So when I was a libero, that's when I realized na it's such a humbling position because you don't get points eh. Diba? You don't make the points. But then if you don't get that first ball or if hindi mo ayusin yung first ball or yung mga digs, then like how will the team, you know, function properly? So it was really like it opened my mind na, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize na most of the first balls would come from the libero, diba? And if you don't dig the ball, edi puntos na agad ng kalaban. So I'm really grateful na coach really thought about putting me in the libero position kasi sobrang yung entitlement na feeling na yun parang nagbago na. Like I have more respect for liberos and more respect for the people in the back, you know, like they don't really get much attention because they don't make the points, no, they don't make the oh yeah, like hindi mo naman narinig na Denden Lazaro with the front line, parang hindi mo naman maririnig yun eh, di ba?
I think that's like an integral part, you being a libero, an integral part to your growth as a player also. And I think it was timely kasi the following year, Coach O entered the picture and you suddenly had a more prominent role in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
And how did that feel? What was the feeling like na you had a more prominent role? And sakto, like you were having that epiphany na, oh, I want to be more engaged in playing, being on the court, being an option as a starting player in the lineup.
It was really timely kasi with Coach Opa, his style as a coach is kahit sino ka man in the team, may role ka. So, and he'll make that clear na, okay, kahit second six ka, he's gonna tell that player na, ito yung role mo. Like, even before we started, like, he already approached each player individually and told them, this is your role. Your role is to make a lot of points, ganyan. Or your role is to focus on this, ganyan. So even if you're not playing, you have a role na your role is to push the players to do better or your role is to make sure na maayos yung training, yung mga ganon. So when I got the chance to be a starter na, when I was in my fourth year, this was okay, like I'm not just playing for my teammates who are there. I'm also playing, I'm not just playing for the first six. I'm also playing for the ones in the bench, and I'm also playing for those who have a minor role in the team, you know, para ma-inspire sila na kaya niyong umabot dito, na kahit nasa first year lang kayo or nasa second year kayo, like kaya niyong umabot dito as of now. So lagi kong sinasabi sa kanila na, alam nyo ba na if I had this mindset when I was first year, I would be playing second year na. You know, so I would tell them na don't don't be like me na if you guys watch the previous games na nasa bench lang kami. Like, you have to dream bigger, you know, and really, if you want this, you can get it. You just have to work hard for it and really put your mind to it. Kasi you can really achieve it with the right, you know, headspace. So with Coach O, I was really like thankful that I was already in that, you know, in that epiphany. Like, kasi if I was still like, oh yeah, ayoko maglaro, like okay lang ako, comfortable lang ako sa team na hindi ko kailangan maglaro. Or parang hindi ako confident sa skills ko. Kasi that was mostly it eh. Na, I'm not even as good as like, I'm not as good as Kim eh. So, the mindset before would be like, Kim, like, galing-galing mo, like ikaw na ha. Kasi parang nape-pressure ko pa, hindi ko kaya sumali sa team or magbuhat sa team. But now it's like, the competitiveness is also like, mas magaling ako sa'yo, ganyan. Tapos, we would be pushing each other to be better. So that was the atmosphere na come during my third year and fourth year. Especially with Coach O. It was always like, you know, anyone can play. You just have, especially because he's a new coach, anyone can play. So you have to push each other. And like, I want that competitive spirit para, you know, we'll really see who can play.
Okay, so throughout your journey, Ponggay, and with you explaining everything, it's a really amazing story. You played the middle blocker position, and then you had to play the libero. Nag-wing spiker ka pa. What position do you feel like you're best at? And what position do you feel like you're most comfortable with? Like if you had to choose.
I think I would say I am comfortable with being the open spiker. Kasi I trained for that year-long na eh. I mean, like, we trained for a long time since summer pa. Compared to, like, let's say when I did libero, it was like during that U-up season lang.
Yep.
You know? And then for my first year, second year, it was never like, oh, you're gonna practice for wing. Kasi minsan, nung, like, let's say, nung na-injure si Kiwi during my first year, they put me back in mid. So it's always like, oh, you can do this position, but you can also do that. So don't just focus on that. It was always like that. And then when I was with Coach O, he told me na specifically, mag-focus ka lang dyan. Kasi kailangan kita dyan. Tama na yung pag free spike, sasali ka din sa middle or sasali ka din dyan. Diyan ka lang, focus ka dyan. So,
Nagagaya mo yung tono ni Coach O, ah.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes I can hear it, even if he's not here. I can hear his voice.
Okay. Ito, Ponggay, I have a follow-up question to that question about your positions in the game. Because of the many positions that you played, you also had many jersey numbers. I know in UST you wore number 5, so maybe that's your original number. But you also wore number 8. And in the latter part of your career in Ateneo, nag-number 9 ka. What's the story behind your jersey numbers? Like starting with number 5.
Okay, so I got number 5 because so there was this senior who graduated, and then she was telling me in high school, oh, get my number. I want you to get my number. So I was like, okay, because I didn't naman think, oh, I have a number since this or that, because in Poveda I think I was number 5 also. So I was like, oh, sige ate, sakto, that was my number in grade school. So then when I got to Ateneo, someone was already wearing number 5, which was Ate May. And she was still part of the team, so I can't get that number. So I said, okay, I'll just get whatever is available. So the only number that I could get was number 8. And I was okay with it. It's not, I don't really think it's a big deal, like, oh, this number. But then when I was able to get, parang that was during yung mga PVL days. And then when I tried number 5 ulit sa Ateneo, wala kaming panalo. So parang iniisip ko, baka malas na itong mga numbers sa akin. So I should try like a different number. Tapos napansin ko na every time number 9 shows up, parang swerte ako. So I was like, oh sige, magna-9 ako. I'm gonna try to get number 9. But then I think Ana Gupico was number 9. But then that year, when I wanted to get number 9, she ended up not playing. So I was like, oh, sakto, I can get the number 9. So then I got number 9 and then it stuck with me na kasi doon na yung parang, na-feel ko yung parang swerte. So like now I'm just gonna stick with number 9.
Pong, we mentioned earlier how I just want to go back how you played so many positions. You're such a versatile player, but you also played beach volleyball for how many? Like 2, 3 years?
Years. Yeah.
2 years, and you were successful because you placed third in one of those years.
Yeah, I placed third 2018 or yeah, 2018 with oh no, I placed third with Roma. So Roma May Doramal was my partner. This was 2019. And then 2018 I was with Jules. We placed fourth.
How was that experience, and how different was it to shift from like indoor to beach and then indoor again?
I love beach volleyball. Like it's so fun. Shifting was it's not so difficult because I think I learned a lot of skills from beach volley. Like for one, dun din gumaling yung receive ko. Kasi we were already training for beach volleyball with Coach Taipa. And this was when sila Bea was playing. So we would train but then it's not, pero hindi naman ako kasali sa team. Pero dun nag-start na, oh like this is so fun pala, maybe I can play next year. And then when we were training for beach, that's where my receive also got good because in beach, if you have, no receive, then it's so easy for the kalaban to win kasi like nakaka-frustrate din ang mga misreceive kasi nakakapagod makakuha ng puntos sa beach volley and the last thing you want is misreceive. Kasi meron nga kaming game, okay, so this was 2017 when we were training for beach for the for 2018. This was with Erica Raaga. So this was the pre-season mga liga. So we went to Legazpi and we played against who were the queens of the sand, yung taga Generica?
Fiola and Patty.
Yeah, okay. So we played against those two. And oh my god, they're so good. Like
They're
what?
crazy good.
What? It's like the sand is nothing to them. Our score was 25 21. It's 21, di ba? 21-1.
What?
21-1. We died. They're so good. And this was like our first time playing in a beach setting that was like a real beach. Kasi in Ateneo, yung beach doon, hindi siya malalim. Alam nila yon. Like, even when we talk to the players and coaches of UST, they always say, yeah, ang pangit ng beach court nyo, ganyan din kami before. But then because the beach volleyball program got better in UST, more people funded them and then they were able to make a nicer beach court. So they were like, just keep trying to improve the program for beach volley there and then maybe your court will get nicer. That's what they would say to us. But yeah, grabe, like 25-1. Oh my God.
Do you remember who got that 1 point?
It was my teammate. It was like
Okay.
it was like
the error ng kalaban.
Hindi. It was an actual point. It was like a long, super long rally. And then when we got the point, we were like, wow, okay, we got one. Let's go. And then, wala. Bubuhayan pa rin nila yung mga bola eh. Grabe. Tsaka syempre marami pa kaming mga error. Sabit kasi lumulubog pa kami. Hindi pa kami marunong parang mag-beach talaga. So, I actually love beach volley. If I could play beach volley, like if there was a good like option for beach, I would play. Pero natatakot ako magkalaban sila Ate Sisi, sila. So, okay na sila dyan sa cream line. Antayin na lang kung may Choco Mucho na beach volley.
Uy, pwede. Okay. Then speaking with Ponggay today, masasabi ko lang na she's really grown up from her earlier years. I just want to share this story, Ponggay. I remember there was this one game that I covered during your rookie season. Eliza was still there. It was Ateneo versus UP. And then there was a huddle. The score was 20-15. And UP was leading. And for some reason, while covering that game, like I noticed you in the background while Coach Tai was coaching. You were smiling, and then your sister was beside you, like stretching, trying to warm up. And then nag-appear pa si Dina, who was a fellow rookie. And then like you were so relaxed. Like you guys were down, but you were so relaxed. And ano ka eh, parang litaw na litaw ka eh sa camera eh, during that time. But then you go from that, and then you evolve into somebody who played pretty much almost every position except setter, and then nag-beach volleyball ka pa, and then naging team captain ka pa. So like now that you think about it, that was you before, and like this is you now. To what do you attribute your growth as a person and as a player? Like how did you go from that to Ponggay Gaston today?
Okay. Shucks, nai-imagine ko yung sarili ko parang, hindi pa natatalo tayo. Like, stupid girl. Yeah, I was really young. And you can tell there's no maturity there. Like, what's in your mind? Like chill lang siya. Parang, So, I'm really thankful I'm not like that na. I think it's really like, as you get older, you just see more, you see more things, you experience more things. And your mind just changes. It depends, like, what is your, parang yung motivation ko, nagbago. Tapos yung mga goals ko, nagbago. It's like, oh, are you just happy being there for 1 to 2 years? Like, masaya ka na dyan. So, parang nagbago na rin yung pag-iisip ko na, ano bang goals mo? Ano ba yung future plans mo? So, like, you wanna just stay in this team pero wala ka nang nako-contribute na maganda. So, doon nagbabago na yung isip ko na, okay, maybe I need to step up my game, or maybe I need to focus on my priorities. Like, what am I prioritizing? Kasi I think when I was a rookie and when I was a kid, my priorities were so different. Like, syempre, when you're young, you have stupid priorities. Like, but then as you get older, it's like, okay, like, I really need to write it down and really make it clear, okay, what are my priorities? Okay, for one, I need to get good grades, or I need to, like, get this course. And then, parang ano pang gusto mo? Gusto mo bang mag-survive lang ng training, or gusto mo gumaling? So, like, before, when I was first year, I just wanted to get by. I just wanted to, like, survive. Kasi medyo patayan dun, alam mo yun, parang pag first year, you're just trying to adjust. So I'm really like, okay, I just want to survive this training for now kasi I don't want to die. Like, it always felt like death. And then, as you get older, once, like, for example, I already know the system, I already know how, I can see my death. So, okay, I don't want to just try to survive. Now I want to excel. So, it was really that growth na, okay, you can't just stay in one space, or you can't just be in one place forever. You need to, like, try and become a better person in all aspects of life, not just in sports, diba? Like, we always try to grow because it's hard to stay na in the same mindset na when you look back, wow, ang dami ko nang na-achieve, or ang dami ko nang na-accomplish, which is better than saying na nakailang years na I'm still here. So that means something is up, like, or something needs to change. So, thank God, someone knocked some sense into me. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I didn't bring that up because I wanted to remind you that you were not focused back then, or you were immature. I mean, everybody goes through that. It's just amazing to see what you've become today. And like, if anybody feels that way, like, I'm just here going through the motions, then maybe they can listen to you and say, okay, I got to think ahead now and accelerate my growth process.
Yeah. It's also different. I realized when I became older and there were players now underneath me na. Doon ka nakita na, oh my God, imagine what my seniors thought of me. Kasi nandito na ako. Ako na yung senior na parang, oh my gosh, there are girls na, like, I can see players na, oh my gosh, she can do so much better if she just thought how I'm thinking. But then I remembered, oh, I was like that when I was young also. Because you're young, you know, like your priorities are different or your ideals and morals are different. So I was like, okay, I'll give her another year. Gagaling na to. Ganyan. Parang, I don't wanna like push her na. But then I would always like tell these players na, alam mo ba, like I was way worse than you when I was first year. I'd be like, alam mo ba, if I had your skill or if I had your like talent, like I would do this and you should do that. Kasi when I was younger and I was your age, you're way better than me. So that means you can already start playing by next year. Next season, you can excel. Lagi kong sinasabi sa mga bata na, alam nyo, kaya nyong agawan yung position ko. Kasi nakikita ko pa lang nung nagta-try out kayo, ako nasi-threaten na ako. Kasi I wasn't like that when I was your age. So, I would tell them, you guys are motivating me to be better because I'm threatened that you guys are gonna take my position. So I would always try to tell them na you guys should always think that way because you can always take your senior's position if you think that way. Na, kasi me, when I was first year, sila ate, they got that na. Like, there's no way in hell I'll be better than Ate Lai. Like, there's no way I'll be better than Ate Mitch or Gia, diba? But then I would always tell them, you have to change that mindset. Na you can be better than us. Because it would develop like a really good competition where you're all just pushing each other to be better. So I think it also came with having people underneath you because you're not just um helping them, but you're also inspiring them, you know? So that had a different role also growing up. Now you can't just do what you want because now there are people who are going to follow you and there are people who are going to look up to you. So I was like, okay, like there's really a different weight on your shoulders compared to when you're first year, you're just like, wala namang, di ba? Ikaw na yung baby eh. So ikaw yung inaalagaan ng team eh. Or ikaw yung inuutusan, ay, okay, ate, ganun. Ate, parang, oh, ate, like, I died today in practice. And they'll be like, okay lang yan, ganyan. And then they'll tell their stories. Alam mo yun? So, like, now you have that role to be like, alam mo, tutulungan kita dito. Bigyan kita ng advice, ganun.
I think one of the people who saw and appreciated yung growth mo was Coach O. Because he appointed you as the team captain in your final year. Syempre after season 81, riding on that, momentum, gaining back the championship for Ateneo, we all know you were looking forward to ending your UAAP career with a back-to-back championship. But how did you take it when the UAAP was, suddenly canceled during the pandemic?
I was really, really sad. Like, my God, this is the only thing I was looking forward to. Like, kasi nag-training kami for what, a year? And I know all the other athletes felt this way. So like, when we had that TBH show nga, akala ko nga may episode kami na mag-iiyakan kami. Pero when we talked about that episode, nagme-message kami like, guys, umiiyak ako. Like, oh yeah, it's so sad. Kasi, and I know we were all like, excited to play with each other. So it was really sad because when you work hard for something and then suddenly it's taken away from you, like you're put in a place where, okay, so what am I gonna do now? Like what's happening? Like everything that we worked for in a year, like all that, yung mga bonding moments with the team and then yung mga training, yung mga struggles, like this is where you're supposed to show it. Diba? And like even sila Jo, like Jo came back and like si Jamie and si Kat. So it's like, paano na sila? Like paano na yung decision nila to sacrifice and to come back to play for the team? It was really like, siguro the first feeling I felt was I felt really lost. Like, when something you love is taken away from you, it's like, oh, what are we gonna do now? But then we knew naman na there's nothing we can do because like there's a pandemic, and it's always important to just look forward and to try to see things in a positive light. Maybe there's a better plan or maybe there's a reason. Even if there's no reason, like sometimes diba, life throws things at us that we're not prepared for. But it's how you overcome it as a person and how would you choose to grow from it. Like, are you just gonna stay there? Kasi I could easily just be this person na hanggang ngayon, like COVID, you ruined my you up career, blah, blah, blah. But then, syempre, I'm not gonna stay like that because that's what an immature person would do. Like, all I have to do is look forward. Now, okay, now I have this new chapter in my life, which is Choco Mucho and playing professional. So, diba, it's like you have to keep going up and looking up na. Parang it would be bad if I dwell in the past na, oh, imagine if I played you up. Like, it's always good to look back, but never to like stay there. It's only to look back to see how far you've come. Na even though it's really sad, I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing like the rookies also. Like there's nothing we can do except move on and just use this as a better motivation. Okay, maybe next season it will be more exciting and people are gonna really watch and hopefully see the game grow kasi alam ko maraming gustong manood ng volleyball and makita yung mga bata maglaro.
Hey, when I went to MOA that day, I did not, in my wildest dreams, think that that would be the last Ateneo LaSalle match I would see for the season. And like that was the last time I also saw Den in person. So like imagine from that day at MOA, and then you said there's some developments in August. It was announced by Choco Mucho that you would be joining the team. And then recently, and this is pretty ironic because your dad was part of the Games and Amusements Board for so many years, 9 years, I think. They announced that the PVL would be going pro. But here's the thing. Now that the PVL is pro, collegiate players can no longer play for the club teams because, I mean, you can't be a pro and a collegiate player at the same time. But because the season was cut short, you actually can still play in the UAAP. So I think the burning question here, Ponggay, is like, what are you gonna do? I'm sure the fans are wondering, like, paano yan? Ponggay can still play in the UAP, and yun nga, there were so many exciting things to look forward to. But now that this development has happened, you can't play. You have to choose. So what are you gonna do?
Well, for now, I'm probably going to stay with my commitment, which is to Choco Mucho. Kasi doon ako nag-commit, you know. Choco Mucho saved my life in that sense during this pandemic because if I wasn't recruited by our Choco Mucho didn't get me, then I would have no motivation to be a better volleyball player kasi siguro aantayin ko lang tong pandemic matapos tapos doon ako magde-decide. But at least because of Choco Mucho, um, I'm so grateful to them na I can play volleyball and train. So I think for now, that's really what I'm gonna focus on first because um, I honestly don't know when the UAAP is gonna be able to play. But at least with PVL, I can see that they're moving forward. I mean, the fact that they already decided on going professional, that means they have plans. And that's where my commitment to is now. Diba? Maybe there's a reason na hindi ako nakapaglaro ng UAP or this. Well, I don't think there's a reason for a pandemic to happen, but you know, maybe because of that, it's a sign na maybe I should just move on, diba? I never actually thought about that. Na if I play with Choco Mucho na mawawala yung option ko na maglaro for the UAAP. But then, you know, I don't wanna look back and say, oh, sana I played with Choco Mucho kasi medyo kating-kating na kami maglaro eh. Yun, parang ayoko naman wait until the UAAP. Tapos ma-heartbroken na lang ulit ako. So I think that's where I'll stick to for now, my commitment to playing professional.
Then I like how Ponggay did not sidestep the question. Like
No.
she was very straightforward with the answer.
And we appreciate that, for being honest. Well, whatever happens, we want to congratulate you, of course, for graduating from Ateneo with a degree in communication and education. I think that's why you're teaching now, no?
Yeah.
Well, aside from volleyball, Where else can we possibly see you in the future?
I don't know. maybe maybe
Graduate
I'll
lang from college, ito na yung tinatanong natin.
I know. Maybe I'll do some hosting. Maybe I'll do some TV gigs. That sounds fun since nagawa ko na siya with TBH and
Mm.
um parang they were telling me na, oh, Pongs, you can like look into doing maybe TV. So maybe I'll do that. But then I'm also like looking into like working corporate then. We'll see. I don't know. For now, I'm really just gonna stick with this.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. There's so many things that I want to do. So it's more of like what can I do? Or what will I decide to do? Because
What was your childhood dream?
ang dami kong nagbabago kasi siya eh. Nagbabago siya like everything I do. Baka ito gusto ko maging ganyan. Gusto ko mag-serve ng ice cream. Gusto ko maging waitress. So yung childhood dream, dami kong mga
What? And why am I imagining Ponggay like serving ice cream with rollerblades at like a diner?
That's such a fun job. Like I would do that.
With like 100 different flavors.
I don't know. I don't want to look too far ahead. Kasi sometimes nagbabago siya. Like, you see yourself doing this and then biglang hindi na ganon. Like, suddenly it's another thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to like be prepared for the future, but you have to be present still. Think about what's happening now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, before we go, Ponggay, I just want to get this out real quick. I want to ask you, what do you think about playing with Denden? I'm pretty sure you watched her when she was playing with the Lady Eagles, and now you guys are teaming up with Choco Mucho.
Ang dami ng libero sa team.
Yeah, boy. Okay, I'm so excited. Kasi when we would train against her, let's say, pupunta siya sa practice, tapos mag-scrimmage siya, so dadating yung mga lalaki, dadating si Ate Den, oh my God, walang mababagsak na bola! So I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to play kasi for sure, there's gonna be games na nakagano lang ako, wow, nakuha pa niya yon. Like, wow, Ate Den, let's go! So
Let's go!
I'm excited to be her teammate, di ba? Kasi if makalaban mo siya, nakakaano yun eh. Parang, I'm amazed, but at the same time, it's like, can you let us get a point, please? Like, the rallies are so long, I want that point. Like, so now it's gonna be us. We're gonna be the one na maiinis sila sa amin kasi, sorry, walang babagsak na bola. Alam mo yun?
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited to start playing again. Kasi, syempre, hindi ko naabutan si Ponggay and Ateneo. And then when we started training in Choco Mucho, she wasn't with us yet. So I'm really like excited to go back training. We all are. I mean, nakakapagod din ball handling mag-isa. Kalaro mo lang yung dingding.
Yeah.
Alam mo yan.
Yeah, it's so tiring. Especially if you're always at home. Like, minsan gusto mo lang humiga eh. Parang, gusto ko na maglaro. Kasi before, like, we would complain pa about going to practice. But now it's like I'm looking for like that gym, like that grind. I need that 6 a.m. grind. Like, let's go.
6 a.m. grind talaga. Well, hearing you guys talk about it, I'm getting excited as well. And with the PVL going pro, I'm sure that a lot of opportunities for volleyball players like you will open up, and whatever happens, whether it will be a bubble situation, who knows what 2021 will bring. To be honest, I just hope that it works out in God's plan, just as Ponggay always says. So Ponggay, thank you so much for joining us on Volleyball DNA. We loved your story, and I especially loved how honest you were and just candid about everything. Like you did not deny like your insecurities or your shortcomings. You were just real.
Thank you, Paul. We super appreciate it. And we're looking forward to your future as a volleyball player. I mean, you're just starting. You just graduated from college. We're looking forward to what else is in store for you in the future. And good luck. Good luck to your teaching career.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I have to say, it's easy for me to be real with you guys because I feel really comfortable in this sphere. And I feel like I need to give it to you guys na maging honest and maging real. Kasi with other people, alam mo yung mag-feel mo na, oh, I have to have a persona or I have to have like my guard is up. But with you guys, I didn't feel that way na. Parang you guys also know me eh. So what's the point in trying to be someone else? Might as well just let them know.
Let them know. Let them know.
You're one of the realest, Pong. You're one of the realest. You don't have to like put up a persona or whatever. You're not like that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so happy. Actually, after that, when you message me, I'm like, oh, we're gonna be part of this show. Yeah.
Yep. You guys can extract Ponggay Gaston's DNA on the show. So thank you so much, Ponggay, and thank you everybody for watching this episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching Volleyball DNA. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get notified for future episodes and interview highlights.
And while you're at it, head over to our Facebook page by clicking on the link in the description.